So in this video, I'm reviewing the Engwe L20 2.0, which is Engwe's step-thru folding electric bike that's made for comfort, affordability, and it's easy to carry and store. I'm going to be going over the assembly process and go in depth on the features, specs, build of this bike, and do an acceleration test, a hill climb test, a braking test, and a test on how this bike rides. So let's get to it. The L20 2.0 comes in a pretty standard bike box, but is pretty heavy, weighing about 85 pounds or so make sure to be careful in moving, and if possible, have someone help you move it. After unboxing, the bike was assembled about 85%. All you have to do is take off all the packing foam, which I must say there's a lot of, and I'm glad that Engwe puts this much protection on the bike to minimize the chance of damaging the bike. And after removing the packing foam, all you have to do is install the front wheel, unfold the handlebars into the locking position, install the seat, pedals, tighten down the display, and install the front fender and the front rack. When I went through the bike, all the bolts were tight and was ready to ride, and the whole assembly process took about 20 to 25 minutes, with most of my time spent removing the packing foam. The L20 2.0 has an aluminum step-thru frame, with my bike coming the rose pink color, which is actually really good looking in person. This color isn't a bright pink, it's more of a salmon pink color with a pearlescent hue. But if you don't want the rose pink color, the 2.0 also comes in a sea green color and black. And the frame tubing has a nice shape to it, and when I inspected the frame, all the welds were nice and clean looking. The battery is located behind the seat, which allows the bike to have such a distinct shape and still staying unobtrusive for the rider. And to keep water from splashing on you, there's front and rear fenders. And as a very appreciated bonus, there's also holes for a water bottle. And for the measurements, the minimum seat height is 35.4 inches, the maximum seat height is 40.5 inches, the minimum handlebar height is 43 inches, the maximum handlebar height is 48 inches, the wheelbase is 47.2 inches, the overall length is 66.9 inches, it weighs in at 68.3 pounds, the recommended rider height is 5'4" to 6'2", and the maximum weight capacity is 264 pounds. The L20 2.0 is powered by a 750 watt rear hub motor that has a peak power of 1125 watts. It provides 75 newton meters of torque and pedal assistance up to 28 miles per hour and throttle only power up to 20 miles per hour. It has a 52 volt, 13 amp hour lithium ion battery with an estimated range of 84 miles in pedal assist and 28 miles of throttle range. The battery is also very easily removable. All you have to do is use the supplied keys to unlock the battery, then pull the battery out. And the battery isn't too big, only weighing in at 9.6 pounds. It comes with a Shimano Tourney 7-speed drivetrain with a 28-tooth cassette and a 48-tooth chainring. The display is an LCD screen, and it displays the battery level, speed, assist level, and has an odometer. And for safety, there's a headlight that's activated by clicking the power button once. It also comes with a rear tail light that also serves as a brake light. And for additional comfort, the bike comes with a suspension fork with 28mm stanchions and 60mm of travel. It also comes with mini riser bars that measure 640mm wide. The L20 2.0 comes with 20-inch wheels with knobby tires with a 3-inch width. It also comes with Schrader tubes. For slowing you down, the bike has mechanical disc brakes with 180mm rotors both in the front and in the rear. The saddle measures 260mm long with a width of 195mm, and it comes with a lot of padding. And for even more comfort, it also has a suspension seat post that works really well. And the bike comes with two racks. The front rack measures 8 inches by 8 inches and has a weight capacity of 17.5 pounds. And the rear rack measures 15 inches by 7 inches and has a weight capacity of 55 pounds. And the bike also comes with thick plastic flat pedals with reflectors, and they also fold so they don't stick out when folding up the bike. And talking about folding the L20 2.0, it folds up really easily. All you have to do is fold the pedals and handlebars, unhook the folding mechanism, and fold it in half. And that's it. When folded, the L20 2.0 is about 40 inches tall, about 32 inches long, and 18 inches wide. So before I get into talking about the performance and how the bike rides, I wanted to do a quick overview of the changes and upgrades that the 2.0 has over the regular L20 model. First is the obvious one, and that's the bike is now foldable, which makes transporting and storing the bike much easier. Second is that Engwe's improved the motor, so the bike now has a 52 volt, 750 watt motor instead of the 48 volt. This means a higher peak power output and an additional 25 newton meters of torque. The 2.0 also comes with a suspension seat post instead of the rigid seat post, which helps for comfort. On the new L20, the handlebar height is adjustable, and it comes with spoked wheels and thinner tires, which helps with weight and rolling resistance. And speaking of weight, the 2.0 is 6.5 pounds lighter, now weighing 68.3 pounds. The 2.0 battery has also been upgraded from a 48 volt to a 52 volt battery, which allows the battery to provide more power to the motor. And last is the price, with the 2.0 coming in at $200 cheaper than the regular L20. So now I've gone over the specifications and changes to the 2.0, I did some testing of what I think are really important factors when buying an e-bike like this one, and they're the hill climbing ability, acceleration, braking, and riding comfort. So the first test I did was acceleration test. With the L20 2.0 being at home using either pedal assist or throttle, I wanted to check how long it would take to get the top speed of 20 miles per hour using only the throttle. Here's how it went.
Okay, acceleration test, throttle only, to top speed of 20 miles an hour. Ready, and go. 10, 15, 20.
So as you just saw, the L20 2.0 did a really good job in acceleration. It took about 4 seconds to get to 10 miles per hour, 5.1 seconds to get to 15 miles per hour, and about 7.6 seconds to get to the top speed of 20 miles per hour. Next was the braking test, which I wanted to do from 15 miles per hour and 20 miles per hour. So first, I tested stopping from 15 miles per hour to 0. And I chose 15 miles per hour because this was the speed that I felt most comfortable to pedal when testing this bike. And the 2.0 stopped in a very respectable 12 feet. Next, I stopped the 2.0 from its throttle top speed of 20 miles per hour, which it did an incredibly impressive 17.5 feet, especially considering the weight of this bike and that these are mechanical disc brakes.
Alright, here we go. We're going to do the steepest hill that exists in my town. We're starting off on level 3 and see how it goes. Here we go. Downshifting, doing 13 miles an hour, or 14 miles an hour actually. Oh man, easy, super easy. Wow, we're doing 14 miles an hour in the 4th speed, and we're cruising up this hill. Wow. My watch is indicating that we're at 18% right now. 13.5 miles per hour, like nothing. Wow. Holy moly, that was easy. Well, there you go. Now you see the power of the L20 2.0.
So I have to say, I was absolutely blown away by the power and climbing ability of the Engwe. I was in the middle gear of the cassette and I was only using power level 3, and the bike just went up to 80% gradient like nothing. I have no doubt in my mind that this bike could climb up some of the steepest hills in San Diego, which usually are about 25% or so. So now that I tested the acceleration, braking, and hill climbing abilities, I wanted to test out the Engwe on its ride comfort on a longer ride. So for this test, I decided to ride along the beautiful bikeway from Imperial Beach to Coronado, California. And while this bike does have a throttle that does work really well, for the first half of this test, I really wanted to focus on the pedaling characteristics. So my plan for this test was just to cruise comfortably, try to get at least 15 miles or so, and just really enjoy my ride. So within a couple miles of the start of my ride, there are a couple things I noticed immediately about the bike. First was the power. As you saw in the hill climb test, this bike is very powerful and has 5 levels of assist. The first 2 levels aren't really that powerful at all, but once you put the bike in level 3, it really takes off. And for riding along flat roads, I just found level 4 and 5 overkill, but to me level 3 was perfect. The second thing I noticed was the gearing. So for me, in the highest gear, the bike cruises along pretty comfortably around 15 to 16 miles an hour. And you can go faster, but I did notice when I tried, my legs were moving pretty fast, and since the bike has a very upright, relaxed position, it was a little too much for me. But at 15 miles per hour, I was cruising along with minimal effort. After about 8.5 miles, I made it to the beautiful city of Coronado, California, with its beautiful golf courses, million-dollar mansions, and breathtaking beaches. So something I did want to mention is that when I got to the halfway point, I still had 4 out of the 5 bars left on the battery. Some other impressions I had about this bike is that the seat has really good cushioning, but the big winner is the suspension seat post. It works very well and does a great job of making the bike much more comfortable. So from that point, I turned around and decided that since I've already done almost 9 miles of pedaling, I wanted to ride back to the car using only the throttle. And I have to say, Using the throttle, the bike cruises so comfortably at the top speed of 20 miles per hour. And honestly, I kind of preferred cruising with the throttle instead of pedaling. So after 17.25 miles and 151 feet of climbing, I made it back to my truck. It only taken me a little over an hour to do the ride, and the bike battery level was at 3 bars. So regarding the range, throughout my testing, I use the throttle about 1/3 of the time, and the pedal assist about 2/3 of the time. When using the throttle is either for doing multiple runs in the acceleration test, or just being flat out with the throttle wide open. When pedaling, I always use level 3 assistance because that was the most comfortable level for me. While riding this way, I'm getting about 40 to 43 miles out of the battery, which I think is pretty impressive for the power of the bike with this battery size. And just for reference, I'm 175 pounds. So overall, I was pleasantly surprised by the L20 2.0. It has a lot of power, comes with front and rear racks, is foldable, has incredible range, is very comfortable, and at $800 is an absolute steal. And when I think about it, I can't think of any e-bikes off the top of my head that cost the same as the L20 2.0 that comes with this type of build, power, and range. But the L20 2.0 is such an upgrade to the regular L20, other than the slightly fatter wheels and tires, I don't know why anyone would purchase the L20 over the 2.0. I'm sure that there are people who prefer the BMX style handlebars of the regular L20, but when comparing the two, the 2.0 is vastly superior. Not to mention, it's almost $200 cheaper. But with that being said, I truly believe that this bike is a great bike, and for the money, it's almost unrivaled. But if you have any questions, or have an L20 and want to share your own experiences, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one.